welcome everybody. Welcome to my Tuesday Q&As right here on YouTube Live, where I will actually be answering you guys' questions live on YouTube. All right, so this is a new thing that I started. Essentially, I started it because a lot of people have a lot of questions when it comes to obviously music industry, music distribution, all of those different things associated with it. And of course, I put my videos out there on YouTube to actually help you guys out and everything like that. But I wanted to get more personal with you guys. I wanted to be able to actually be able to answer questions live because I know a lot of people got questions on a lot of different things. So I'm here to help you guys out on both IG Live and YouTube Live. What's going on, JB and Big West in the building? Good looking out for dropping by. I'm doing a live here, just helping anybody who has any music industry questions. So if you have any questions about the music industry, feel free to put them on the comments or messages on IG Live or YouTube Live. Again, I'm here to help you guys out. Now, of course, on YouTube, you will actually be able to see everything better because I'm actually going to be reading a couple of questions that I have actually found on the comments in my video. So we're going to actually go over a lot of those questions. I actually just compiled a lot of questions, a couple of questions that I've seen recently on my comments. And the thing is, I get so many questions on my comments, all my videos, that it's so much, which is why I actually decided to do this in the first place. I did this so that I'm able to actually answer as much questions as possible, since answering in the comments I don't think it's enough for you guys. So I decided to actually start this Tuesday Q&As where I'll be able to actually answer those questions live for you. So if you want your question answered live, hop on YouTube. Anyone who's on IG, if you want your question answered live on screen right now, just actually put it in the comment section, in the chat section of the YouTube video, and I'll be able to answer it live. All right. Also, for those of you guys who don't know yet, I actually have introduced the WesTheTech membership club that actually started last week. All right, this is for any of you guys who want to actually take your music career further. All right, through my YouTube channel, I have a membership club where I have different tiers of different things, all right, that I offer. Of course, on YouTube, I'm actually going to show you guys what the different memberships include. All right, so if I just switch my screen here on YouTube so you guys can actually see my screen. All right, so what you want to do is, let's say you go to my channel. All right, you go to my channel, and let's say you're watching, just any one of my videos. Here, I'll pull this video up here, but I'll pause it because I don't want the ads to run. You're going to see a little button here that says join. All right, for me, it says see perks. All right. But once you click on this here, it'll actually take you to a page that looks just like this, all right? And this page here, it'll actually show you everything that's included, all the perks that are actually included with being a member of my club on YouTube, all right? Now, of course, there's different tiers, all right? I actually did a video explaining what's included in all the different tiers. So if you want to know more information on that, I'll actually leave the link in the descriptions below for that particular video. It was actually the video that I actually released last week, Thursday, for my tech tips. And I went over every last one of those tiers so you could understand what you get. All right, I have things in there where you get discounted prices on all my resources. I have things where you could get free personal music business coaching sections one-on-one with me, all right, through Zoom calls. All of these things are things that you could absolutely take advantage of. But again, you have to be part of the membership club. Now, the membership club only starts at, I think it's $2 or $3.99. Hold on, let me double check. I don't want to give you guys false information here, but the first tier, I believe it's only $3 or $4. It's not much, but you get so much with it. Like I said, you'll be able to get your questions answered faster, because a lot of people are sending me messages through IG or commenting, and it's so much. I'm trying to get to them as much as I can, but there's just so many questions from so much people. Because when I started this channel, of course, I understood that the world would access it, but never did I think that this channel will reach a point that literally the world is asking me questions nonstop about so many different things. So, in order for me to really just prioritize what's more important than the other, that's kind of why I started this whole membership thing, so that those of you who really, really want these questions answered, who are actually in the music career, who are actually trying to figure things out, you'll be able to get your answers answered quicker than those of you, who just, just want to answer some questions, haven't really started and things like that. Of course, there's so many people who are at so many different levels of their music career. Some haven't started yet, some are in the midst of it, so it varies. Like for me, especially when I was starting my music career, the beginning of it, right? Just getting started is when I had the most questions. What music distribution should I go with? How do I get paid in the music industry? What do I have to do to make sure I get paid? What's an LLC? How do I start my own business? How do I get my royalties? How do I copyright? All of these questions all really came in the beginning. And it took me a long time to actually find the answers to all of these things. And it took a lot of trial and error as well, which is why I started my channel and actually started making those videos, because I wanted to save a lot of you guys time. I don't know if many of you guys actually listen to my music, but I'm actually a Christian hip hop artist myself. All right. Now, I love helping people. I've been in youth ministry. That's a fun fact for those of you who don't know. I've been in youth ministry at my church for a very, very long time. And I just have just the nature of just helping people. I always want to help people, especially when it comes to their music career, right? Because there's just so much. There's so much to learn. There's so much to know. Pretty Girl Progression, what's going on? Thanks for joining in. I see you. I see you, Chino. I see you hopped in on the live on IG. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. I'm actually answering questions live on YouTube. So any music industry questions, hop on my YouTube live. Just put it in the comments or the chat section of the YouTube live. I'll be answering it right there for those of you who are watching on IG. All right. Love to see it. Feeling Like David, run that up. Appreciate it, bro. So Feeling Like David is actually my latest single. It's actually been doing very, very well. And it's, all glory to God. It's been an absolute blessing. And yes, I ain't even gonna front, like just seeing the outpour of people who really enjoy the song really got me feeling like David now. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate the love, Chino. Appreciate that a lot. Again, if any of you guys have any questions, just leave it in the comment section below of the chat on YouTube live. I'm actually going to be going over some personal ones that I picked out. But going back to what I was saying, I love helping people. I'm here to really help you guys in any form or fashion that I can. But again, because there's different areas, there's different levels of where you are in your music career, some questions are more important than others. For example, let's say you got a release and the song is out right, or you want to release the song right away, and you don't know what music distribution company to go with. That's more important than somebody else who maybe just has a question on, how do you count bars, right? Or how do you find a good studio? That's an important question as well, but it's not as important as wanting to know what music distribution company to go with, because there's so much hidden information when it comes to music distribution companies, and there's so many companies to deal with to begin with, right? So how do you actually navigate through that? How do you actually figure out which one is the best for you? That is probably the biggest question when you're an independent artist. Those are my most watched videos on YouTube, the ones that are pertaining to specifically music distribution and which company to go with. And over the years, I actually have tried out so many of them. I've looked into them. I've actually bought subscriptions and memberships of them just so I could look into it to see what it really was about. Because of course there's the front view, everything they show you up front, and then there's the behind the scenes stuff that they don't tell you about. And that's the stuff that I want to know about, not just for me, but for all of you guys as well. So obviously those are more important questions. So when you have those deep questions, or when you're really stuck in a pocket and you don't know what you're going to do, and you really, really need a question answered, that's what the membership club is for. When you're part of that membership club, you'll be able to contact me right away. You'll have priority comments on my YouTube videos. You'll be able to connect with me on social media, right? You'll be able to connect with my IG. You'll be able to connect with me on Facebook. You'll actually be able to contact me directly. Of course, the artists that I work with day to day, we work together. So when they have questions, I can answer it on the spot. I wanted to provide that for those of you online all around the world who had questions as well. So that's really where the membership came about. And like I said, there's a lot of benefits and perks to go with it. All right. So now that all of that stuff is out the way, all right, if you want to join the membership, of course, like I said, the link will be below. Let's get to some of these questions and see what we have. So I'm going to pull up the first question here. For those of you, again, who are watching via IG, I'm answering music industry questions live on YouTube. What's going on? AJ just hopped on. What's going on, brother? That's a real close friend of mine. Thanks for joining in. New Era, what's up? Thank you for joining in. All right, if you want any music industry questions answered live, go ahead and hop on YouTube. YouTube, I'll be answering them live. All right, okay, so now let's pull up the first question here. Let's see. What's good, bro? Let's see. All right, so first question. Where do I bring it up? Okay, so these are my questions. All right, these are the questions that I pulled out. All right, and the first question, we're going to pull it up here. Let's see what it says. All right, so this is coming from, let's see, Ziwi Zombie TV 26. All right, so they asked 3 days ago if you didn't lease the beat and just download it on YouTube, how do you fill out the info for the producer? And when uploading your works, I thought you needed a code of some sort to keep track of the music to get back end payments from DistroKid or whatever you use. Okay, so this is a loaded question, but this is a very, very fun question because there's a lot that has to do with this particular question right here. Essentially, what they're asking me is if I download a beat off of YouTube and I make a song with it and then I actually release that song, how do I actually put in the producer's information in, and how do I make sure that I get paid off of it? Okay, so there's so much to unpack here. So much to unpack. So for the first thing we're gonna go with is you have to understand that YouTube beats are not free. Even though they say free to use for promotional or whatever, they're not entirely free. And if you don't believe me, I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean. So typically a lot of artists like to do this. Free, little, I don't know, free, okay, there you go. Free little baby beat, right? Free little baby beat, right? And then you type that in and you get all this list of these free beats. And you're just like, wow, the beat is free. Look, free type beat. Oh, this is awesome. I get a free beat. Well, if you actually go down here and you actually go to the info section, which a lot of people don't do, you will actually see that it says download and it says website, right? Now, here is the main part that you want to read. You see this little part right here? Free download for non-profit use only. What does this mean? This means that if you use this beat, you actually cannot actually distribute it and actually get money for it unless you actually purchase the beat. This is why they put this link right here. I did a video a while back, and the title of it was YouTube beats are not free. All right, because a lot of people think that they're free just because they put this big word free on here, this little clickbait word free. But it's not free. It's free to use, free to have fun with, free to just freestyle and stuff over. But if you're looking into actually making money off of it, no, you wouldn't be able to do that. All right, now I actually got a live question here. What is the from Chino Dollars? What's going on, Chino? Thanks for joining in. So I'm gonna get to that question once I finish this here. Okay, so if you see here, there's a link that says download. Once you actually click on that link, it's actually going to bring you to the actual place that you could actually purchase the beat, right? And so if there's a link to purchase, how can it be free? Obviously, it's not free. It's only free to use, but you still actually have to purchase it. Let's see, someone just joined in on IG Live. Oh, Tech It, what's good, bro? Bill, what's going on? What's going on? Thanks for joining in. Pretty Girl Progression, thanks for joining in on IG Live. If you got any questions that you want answered live on YouTube, I will answer it live for you right now on YouTube. Just go type it in to the YouTube chat, and I'll answer it live for you right now, all right? I'm only here for a limited time, so get those questions answered. Go ahead and tune in, all right? So going back to this here, as you can see, these are the different prices, right? These are the different prices of the beats, the non-exclusive license. These are the different ones. I won't get into too much detail for this because, like I said, I already have a video explaining all of this. But this beat isn't free. So going back to that actual question, the question was stated: if you didn't lease the beat and just downloaded it on YouTube, how do you fill out the info for the producer? You can fill out. You won't get the actual name of the producer because the name of the producer actually comes in the leasing agreement. Now, I will actually show you one of my own leasing agreements just so you guys can see for yourself how it looks. And this is why I love questions like this, and this is why I love what I'm doing right now because it's more of an in-depth explanation. All right. So let's just go to, let's see, one of the songs that I got a beat for. Let me see. A lot of my beats I did myself, so I have to find one that praise. Okay, keep the prices going up. That was a license agreement. Okay, so here we go right here, right? This would be the actual PDF that you get when you actually purchase a beat. All right. I'm gonna make this bigger for you so you guys can see. See, this is the actual leasing agreement that you would actually get, right? And you would actually, so for this one, here would be the name of the actual producer. You're not getting this name unless you actually have a leasing agreement, all right? So you won't actually be able to fill out the name because you don't get that information. All you're gonna get is the producer's name that's actually on there. So you won't be able to fill that out. But more importantly, if you were to release that song and let's say that song was to blow, right? Let's say that song just went crazy. You could actually get sued by the producer, and the producer can actually get any amount of money that you would actually make off of that song because you, in fact, did not actually purchase that beat. You didn't lease it. You didn't get any exclusive rights to use it. So you decided to use it without their approval. So before I could even answer all the rest of the stuff, you have to understand that you actually cannot do this. You actually have to buy the beat before we even talk about putting the information in. But once you do put the information in, you actually do have to fill out the producer's name and all of the different areas that you actually will get paid royalties on. That will be a question for another time. I kind of just wanted to focus on that first part there because that was a very, very good question, and I wanted to elaborate on that, all right? So now the next question I'm going to go to is actually in the chat, all right? It's from Chino Dollars here, and the question is, what is the best approach to submitting music to major radio stations? Oh, this is such a great question. Great question, Chino. That's why I love you because these are the type of questions that really spark a lot of conversation. What's going on, Liz? Thanks for joining in on IG. I'm actually answering questions live on YouTube right now. If you have any music industry questions that you want answered, hop on my YouTube. I'll be able to answer it there live on the chat. Thank you for joining in. All right. So the best approach. All right. So a lot of people got a lot of different opinions when it comes to the best approach in actually submitting to radio station. How I view it is it depends on the radio station. And what I mean by that is that every radio station has their own way of actually finding new music. And as we know, especially when we're dealing with the bigger radio stations, like I'm in South Florida, so I'm talking about 99 Jams, I'm talking about Hot 105, I'm talking about The Beat, I'm talking about Power 96. If we're talking about those different radio stations, a lot of those radio stations are still part of the bigger world of things. You know what I mean? So they play obviously the biggest artists and things like that. So when it comes to radio stations, I remember actually talking to a radio station executive before, and they are actually not allowed to accept payments for your music to be on the radio station, which is crazy because obviously, when you watch movies and things like that, you see scenes like Hustle and Flow, for example. You see them paying them to get it in places and stuff like that. But no, they're actually by law aren't allowed to accept payments for that. What's actually supposed to happen is you're actually supposed to be able to submit your music to them, and if they like it, they will have a chance to air it. But obviously, a lot of radio stations aren't doing that. They are taking money from under the table to be able to play certain things. But if we're talking about those big radio stations, it's one of those things is they have to find you before you find them. or you could go to their conventions and try to reach out to them there. They always like Power 96 just had an event just recently. Showing up at these events that they have does help. But when it comes to those big radio stations, it's very, very difficult to be able to get on the radio station, those radio stations, unless you already have some notoriety. Now, if we're talking about the internet radio stations or those things, those are much much easier because you can literally go to their website and they usually have a submission place. I'll give you an example right here. So like I said, I do Christian hip hop music, right? So Christian hip hop music, one of the biggest radio stations is on Holy Culture, right? So Holy Culture has a Sirius XM network, right? And you could literally go to holyculture.com where they actually have a station on. Here it is right here. They'll let you know. They right here. See live. They actually have a live station on Sirius XM. On Holy Culture, you can actually submit your music. Let me see where's the submission. So if you scroll down to, by the way, this is the easiest way to find submissions. When you go to a radio station and you want to see if they accept submissions, you're not going to see it anywhere up here. You're going to have to scroll all the way to the bottom, and you're going to see it somewhere in the quick links. You see for here, right here, submissions. You click on that, right? Once you click on it, then they're going to take you to a form, or they're going to take you to somewhere to actually fill out so you can actually submit your music to it. Now, of course, the music has to be great. Chino, your music is great. So I know that, you know what I'm saying, with submissions, you'll be good to go. You get what I'm saying? But they usually have different things, and every radio station has its own thing. So you really have to do it that way. Let's see if Power 96, I never checked myself, but let's see if Power 96 has a submission. So Power 96, let's see. Wow, okay, there's a lot of Power 96. I guess Power 96, I don't know, Florida, South Florida. Power96.com website. They don't have a website? That's crazy. They have to have a website. Okay, what's this one? Okay, I just went to a random one. This ain't the Power 96 I know, but okay. So, again, let's see, contact. See, they have a contact here. Let's see if they have anything on actually submitting. Nominees, whose careers, send feedback, advertise. Maybe it's under advertise. Or let's go to the bottom and see. All the way to the bottom. Look through here. Let's see, terms, contests. So maybe they do contests. You might have to look into there. Or contact, right? Let's go to contact and see what they say. So here, contact. Look, they have the phone numbers. They have things. They have emails. So you can contact them through there. Give them a call. You know, they have a business line, right? They have a studio line. They have emails. So this is a great way to contact, you know, a radio station and see if you can reach them. Call them first, right? You got to be professional, of course. You call them first. If they don't pick up, send them an email. But this is, in my opinion, the best approach to trying to reach out to them or get in your music. It's all about relationship. Everything in the music industry is all about relationship. So if you could get to their events, if you could contact them, reach out to somebody, or find someone who knows them, this, that, and the third. These are all the different ways that you can actually get in contact with them. And then from that point, once you get in contact with them, it's just hopefully they like your music. I'll give you an example of what happened to me. My first moment my song was played on the radio. The way it happened was I actually went to a Lecrae concert. It was actually a Reach Records concert. So it was a concert featuring Lecrae, featuring Andy Mineo, you know, all of the Christian hip hop artists that are part of Reach Records. So essentially what happened was I was standing in line with a couple of my friends, all right? We were all standing in line, and right in front of me was a guy who was actually a radio DJ for a Christian radio station up north, right? And I didn't even say anything. It was a good friend of mine's, Josh, who actually sparked up a conversation with him, right? That's why networking is important. He started a conversation with him, and he was like, you know, what do you do, this, that, and the third? Because obviously, we're all coming to see Lecrae. We all hopefully are Christian, you know, and we all, you know, love Lecrae or whatever the case may be. We're here for the same reasons, right? So they were talking, and eventually he told my friend that he's a radio station DJ, right? So he's like, oh snap! Well, my boy, he does Christian hip hop, and long and behold, the actual DJ was a Christian hip hop radio station DJ. So he told me straight out, he was like, yo, send it to me. Send it to me. If I like it, I'll play it. I kid you not. Like a week or two later, my song was being played on the first time on the radio. It was actually No Games at the time. And I remember my friends taking videos of it and actually recording it, playing on their radio and everything like that. And that's why networking is so important. That was much, much easier than trying to email or this, that, and the third. But again, you got to put yourself out there, right? You could go to one of these events, a Power 96 events, and the person next to you may be one of the DJs that's there. They may not be the main DJ, right? But it could be one of the DJs that they have on staff. Most of these radio stations have tons of people on staff because radio is 24/7, right? So they have DJs at different slots of the day and things like that. For him in particular, his slot was on Saturday mornings, and he's up north, so a lot of people who listen to him are in the Orlando area, in the Orlando Tallahassee area up north of northern Florida, right? And sure enough, No Games was playing on the radio, and it was just, I couldn't hear it because it wasn't in my area. But my friend who's further up north, he called me, he let me know, yeah, he heard it, he sent me the video, everything, and that's as easy as it was. So to answer your question, Chino, the best approach is literally just getting in contact with people. And because I know you personally, and I know how professional you are, and I know how articulate you are, bro, all they got to do is have one conversation with you, or you already know you on. But great question for everybody else. And I'm sure you're on the radio already because I already know what time you on. But great question. Thank you for asking that question for sure. All right, so now, I have another question here. Okay, so Groove City Entertainment has a question on the chat. So let's go ahead and answer this here. Let me check. Hold on, I don't know where my IG screen went. Oh, here it go right here. Okay, just want to check to see if anybody else joined. Okay, so your Groove City Entertainment asks, I'm doing singles right now that I've copyrighted. How could I incorporate them into a full CD once I have enough material? Okay, that is a great question. And Groove City Entertainment, I'm not sure if you are a member of my membership club yet, but in my membership club, that's a loaded question within itself, all right? But if you wanted to reach out to me personally and have, one-on-one music coaching sessions, or just be able to reach out to me easily, you could join the membership. All right, there's different tiers to it, and you could look into it. You don't have to, but this is a great question here. So I'm doing singles right now that I've copyrighted. How could I incorporate them to a full CD once I have enough material? Okay, so in this day and age, this is a loaded question. In this day and age, it is very difficult to get somebody to listen to an entire album. All right. Now, don't get me wrong. Albums are still being listened to. CDs are still being bought. People still do enjoy them, but it is becoming a niche. It is becoming a almost like an acquired taste, so to speak, right? Because most people are digesting music streaming or through the internet now, through streaming, through Spotify, Apple Music, all right, through Amazon Music, through YouTube. How many people are actually going to YouTube now to actually get their questions or listen to music, right? This is really the era that we're in. So I would always advise an artist to really build up their fan base by singles first, till you can get to a certain point that okay, I have at least 1,000 core fans, all right? When I say core fans, I'm not just talking about any fans. I'm talking about fans that are like your diehards. Fans that anytime you release a product, anytime you do anything, they will actually come out there and they will support. Anytime you do a show. Once you get a fan base that big, then you go ahead and you actually think about creating a album or putting a compilation together or an EP together, because you already know that you have the fan backing that's going to support that project, right? So that would be the first thing I would say anytime anybody asks me about doing an album, about doing an EP or anything like that. All right. So that's first most. Now, when it comes to incorporating them into a full CD, it's really up to you how you want to make the CD. Some people they want to have an actual focus on the music. They want it to be done a particular way. I know when I did my album, The Journey, I had a particular focus on it. So all the songs kind of catered to it. It wasn't really random. I actually created songs with the journey in mind. So, if you want to make a classic album or you want to make an album that actually matters, an album that people will listen to on forever, take your time with it. I know we think that artists, release music all the time and everything like that, but think about the great ones. Like Justin Timberlake, for example, he releases an album once every 5, 7 years, but every time he releases an album, he shuts the world down, right? This man single-handedly brought sexy back at some point. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know sexy had left, but he brought it back. You know what I'm saying? Like in suit and ties, you know what I'm saying? Justify every single time he dropped. They're so far in between each other, but every time he dropped, you knew you was gonna get the quality because it's Justin Timberlake, and he took his time with it. So take your time. There's no rush to it because once it's out there for good, and you can't change that, right? So definitely take your time with it and definitely look into that for sure. All right. I see some more people join in. Ashley Music, what's going on, bro? Thank you for joining in on IG Live. Giannis, what's going on? I hope I pronounced that right. It was a pleasure to meet you the other day when we had the session. And hit me up about that session. What happened to you? If you guys got any music industry questions that you want answered live, go ahead and go on my YouTube and answer it live on the chat right now. I'll be able to answer that for you live on air right now. All right. So, our Blended Twisted family, my boy June, what's going on? Thank you for joining in. Thank you for joining in. I'm out here answering questions live on YouTube in regards to any music industry stuff. Okay, so let's get to our next question that was submitted here on the Q&As. Let's see. So the next question I have here is here. All right. This was a comment that was on how to register with BMI. All right. Question, Wes. Can I sign up this was 10 days ago. Can I sign up as a songwriter and a publishing company? Because I started that first and tried create a Sondi writing membership. Okay. And this question is from Man of African Descent 10 days ago. This is a great question. And to simply answer this question, yes, you absolutely can. Okay, Pretty Girl Progression. I'm not sure I can sing, but I want to make a song. Do you work miracles? Yes and no. Yes, as far as if you can hold a note, we could put something together. No, as in I'm not Jesus. I don't know how to walk on water just yet. So I believe this. I believe everybody has the capability of singing. Everybody can sing, all right? Now, can everyone sing well? That is determined by how much practice you put in, all right? Of course, there are natural singers out there, but think of your voice as a muscle. It's a muscle like everything else, right? I don't have much muscles, right? The Rock obviously has plenty of muscles. He might have too much muscles, right? So if somebody were to ask you, can you lift up 100 pounds? Sure. Everybody can essentially lift up 100 pounds. It's just some people could do it right now. Some people will have to build towards that. Some people will have to build the muscle in order to be able to lift up that 100 pounds. So everybody is capable of doing it, but you have to work it out. Singing is the same exact thing, right? We all have a singing voice. We all have vocals. We all can get there. It just may take a different level of practice. We may be at different places. You may have to take a lot of vocal training before you can get there to be able to put yourself in a position that you can sing. But I'll tell you, yes, I believe you can sing, and yes, I can help you. Now, miracles, we already know who does that, all right? So I'm going to leave that like that. All right, so going back to this question here, can I sign up as a songwriter and as a publishing company? Yes, and as a matter of fact, as an independent artist, not only can you, but you absolutely should, all right? You absolutely should. And essentially, what a publishing company is, it's so funny to me because like every time I see a publishing company mentioned, it always seems so scary and so weird. And I remember doing the research. I'm like, what is a publishing company? A publishing company is essentially exactly what it sounds like. It's a company that you are publishing your music through. So essentially, all it is a company like any other company. What company is your music under, right? What record label is your music under, right? So for me, I'm WesTheTech. My company is WesTheTech Productions, right? So my publishing, I publish my music through WesTheTech Productions. That is my company, right? That's all a publishing company is. So if you're an independent artist and you're asking me, um, can I sign up as a songwriter and a publishing company? Yes, you can. If it's your music and you did it yourself and you created your own music, your own company for your music, which you should. Everybody who wants to be an independent artist should have an LLC, should create a limited liability company and become an actual company, right? Because if you really want to be in the music career and do music full time like myself, then you need a company, right? Yes, you're going to be paying taxes on it. Yes, you're going to be getting income and have and expenses and all of that stuff. So yes, we're going to have to be an adult about this. But yes, you do have to actually create a company. You can't just be out there saying, I want to be legit. I want to have an actual music career, but not take the steps of everything else, right? For any other business, if you want to have a bakery company, guess what you're going to do? You're going to create an LLC, right? You're going to pay your taxes. You're going to get a lot. You're going to do all of these things to make it an official business, right? It's the same thing with the music career. It's the same thing as being an independent artist, right? Now, if you want to sign to a label, that's different. But if you're trying to be an independent artist, you're going to have your own music business, which is why I created my book, The 13 Steps to Jumpstart Your Music Career, right? In that book, I highlighted all the things that you needed in order to actually start your own music business. Not just a music career, but your music business. And one of those things is actually to create an LLC. So yes, that is what a publishing company is. And yes, you definitely want to sign up as a songwriter and a publisher. I do that. I sign up as a songwriter and as a publisher. And guess what? The cool part about it is when it comes to the royalties, you get both. You get the publishing royalties and you get the songwriter royalties because you're one and the same. It's your company. You don't have to share it with anybody. You're independent. Now, those who are signed is very, very different, right? You got to pay a lot of other people, the record label, all, management, all of that. But when you're independent, you get it all. So, yes, it is a great thing being an independent artist, and that's why I promote everybody to be an independent artist. Now, so yeah, that answers that question right there. So let's go on to the next question here. All right. We have this question is from, let's see, DJ T Bling. All right, this was 2 weeks ago, and he commented on how to make a TikTok artist account. Okay, for those of you who don't know, TikTok artist account is you can actually make an actual artist account now on TikTok. The same way you could do an artist account on IG. You could actually put musical artists and things like that. You can actually do that on TikTok now. And there's actually a lot of great features with that. So if you haven't seen this video yet, definitely check that video out if you're an independent artist, all right? But the question that is stated here is, I have my music distributed to all major stores like Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, and a host of others. So my question is, do I still have to open a Spotify account since I already have my music distributed all those stores? Okay, so no, you don't have to actually pay for a Spotify account. No, you don't have to have an Apple Music account or Amazon Music account. Those accounts are for the consumers, right? Those accounts are for people who want to listen to the music. Because your music is on there doesn't mean that you have to actually purchase an account for every single one of these streaming services. But what you do have to do is sign up with their for artist account. Now, what the for artist account is very, very important. The for artist account is for you to be able to access the back door or the back end of your music, right? And it'll be better if I show you instead of explain it. All right, so going here, all right, so we have our regular Spotify, right? And then we have okay, so this is like the regular Spotify, right? And then there's something that's called Spotify for Artists, right? So Spotify for Artists. I'm gonna Google it, right? And you see how I said Spotify for Artists? That's a completely different website. What this website is, it's actually your backstage to your Spotify account, right? With that, logging into your Spotify for Artists, you'll be able to do things like change your picture on Spotify. You'll actually be able to check your statistics on Spotify. You'll actually be able to do all the things as an artist on Spotify. This is free to have because if your music is on Spotify, you should be able to access that. You don't have to pay for that. Same thing for Apple Music. Apple Music has it as well. Apple Music, right? Apple Music has the same thing. Apple Music for Artists, right? Tidal for Artists. Most of them have a back door to it so you could get in as an artist for free without having to pay anything. You can just be able to actually check out your stats. You can change your images, add, remove music, and do a whole bunch of other stuff as well. But yes, to answer your question, no, you don't have to have a regular you don't have to actually pay for any of these accounts or open an account, but you do have to get an artist account because with that artist account, you have access to things. And I have a bunch of videos on the artist accounts, how to actually log in or sign up for it. Actually, let me see. It's been a while, but I'm sure I still have those videos and if you want more details on those videos, you can do this here. You can go to my, it's funny because sometimes when I have questions, I go listen to myself because it's a lot of information and sometimes I forget myself. So what I do is I actually search myself. Oh, I'm live right now, duh. All right, so here we go. So if you see here, and I were to go to search Spotify for Artists. Spotify for, boom, right there. Look at that. How to sign up with Spotify for Artists with DistroKid. How to get your Spotify for Artists data, right? So I have plenty of videos for Spotify for Artists. Same thing for Apple Music for Artists. Same thing for Tidal for Artists. I got a lot of videos for all of those different things. So yes, you do have to create an account, but not that generic account. You want to create one for whatever for artists, all right? Now, Groove City Entertainment actually asked another question. Thank you for the first question, and here's the second question here. Okay, what is the best way to advertise on YouTube without making a music video? Oh my goodness, that is a great question. Let's clap it up. That's a great question. That I'm so happy you asked that question because I believe that you have to advertise on YouTube besides music videos. It shouldn't just be music videos. Okay, so I hope you're taking notes. Do you have a notepad? If you got a notepad, make sure you take, you can watch this later. All right, whatever. Yeah. All right, so yes, great question. And yes, there are so many different ways that you can advertise on your YouTube because here's the thing, right? In order to get monetized on YouTube, you actually have to meet a certain threshold of subscribers and you have to meet a certain threshold of watch time hours, all right? Now, when it comes to the watch time hours, you need 4,000 watch time hours in order to actually get your YouTube channel monetized, all right? That is very important to know. And why I say that is because I'm going to do some math with you, all right, Groove City? Let me pull up a calculator here. Let's see. Let me pull up my calculator because we're gonna do some math right here live on here, so you can see how crazy this is, right? Okay, so let's say you have a song that's I don't know 5 minutes long, right? That's a very long song, and most people don't have music that long. But let's say you did have a song that was 5 minutes long, right? So you take 60 minutes, right? 60 minutes. Divided by 5, right? That would be what, 12 songs? Okay, so you would need that song to be played 12 times for an hour, right? So now you have to calculate 4,000 hours. So 12 times 4,000 hours, right? You would need 48,000 plays of that song to reach 4,000 hours within a given year. All right, that is a lot of plays. And not only is it a lot of plays, but you have to consider that the song has to be 5 minutes. Most songs are only 3 to 4. And everybody has to listen to the entire song. So if they only listen to 30 seconds, that's not gonna count, right? That number is only considering that it's 5 minutes and that they're listening to the whole song. All right. So relying on music videos alone isn't going to be the most efficient way to get monetized on YouTube or to advertise the way you want, right? Because you want to reach more hours. So you have to create other content that can help get that watch time hours, and that could, of course, help, like you said, advertise, right? So other things that you could do is you can actually do live recording sessions, right? I know a lot of artists that do that. They actually set up a camera through their phone or whatever it is, and they actually record their entire recording session. All right, if you're a band, it's even more entertaining, right? Because you have all the bandmates, the banter, the conversation, all of those different things. Record the whole recording session, right? And you turn it into a vlog. You put it on your YouTube, right? You advertise that way. That's a great way to reach your watch time hours, and it's a great way for people to see behind the scenes of how you make music. Other ways that you could advertise is actually by making reels and shorts incorporating your music. I'll give you an example. I do this a lot with my own music. So if you were to go to my YouTube channel, because again, like I said, I'm an artist myself, and you go to my shorts, I have tons of shorts. All of these shorts incorporate my music in them. My music is being played in the background of every last one of these. Even this one. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it, but and hopefully it's not too loud. I might have this music, but my music is actually playing in the background of this, right? That's a great way to advertise your music because people are enjoying what they're watching, but because they're hearing the music too, it creates an opportunity for them to go listen to it, right? I'll give you an example of one of my biggest songs to do this, at least on YouTube and other areas as well. It did very, very well. Is let me see if I can find it here. Okay, this one. Look, this one has 5K views. That means 5,000 people watch this here. My music is playing in the background of this, right? Like I said, every last one of these, my music is playing in the background. So no, that's a great way to advertise. That's a great way to actually promote your music. You also want to do videos of you performing your music, like not really music video in a sense, but like you want to kind of make like a real or short type video. So like this right here, right? So this is not the music video for Feeling Like This, but this is a video that I created that I'm actually rapping part of my verse in it, and we just shot this actually at the park. Actually, our Blended Twisted family, that's my boy Joe. He's actually my videographer. He's the one who actually recorded this. So we don't just record music videos, we record content like this because that helps advertising. The great thing about this is not only can you post it here, but you can also post it on your IG. You can also post it on TikTok. This is how artists blow up on TikTok. This is how artists blow up on different places because they are advertising their music everywhere through these little videos in this form. So that's a great way to promote your music through city. It's a great way, and I believe it's almost mandatory to do, especially in this generation, in this era of music, because everyone's on social media. Most people are on social media and they are watching TV, right? People are at dining tables on their phone looking at social media, right? People are at concerts looking at social media on their phone. Nothing is bigger than social media right now. So yes, a lot of people can have their opinions about good or bad and things like that, but when it comes to marketing, when it comes to advertising and all of those things, social media has been an absolute blessing in my music career, and I know it will be yours as well, as long as you're advertising that way. So yeah, just find different ways to actually advertise your music outside of music videos. You can do these reels, you can do behind the scenes footage, you can do things that don't even gotta do with your music, but maybe you find a cool little video that actually supports the song that you have. All of these are great, absolutely great ways to actually promote your music on YouTube, right? This video, can you hear it? Oh, the video is playing. Okay, see, thanks for that. I didn't know if the video was actually playing. It looked like it was muted here, but thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay, so yeah, so I'll say it one more time. all of the things that you want to actually advertise are reels like this, are the behind the scenes stuff, are the recording sessions. Some artists I know they actually do they take you behind the scenes of their writing. You know, when they're in the process of writing, when they're thinking about all the different things that they do when they're writing. Some do that as well. These are all the different ways that you can actually advertise on your YouTube outside of music videos. And to be honest with you, Groove, I've never spent a single penny on advertising on YouTube. All right. There's a method, there's a way that you could actually get people to view your videos easily without having to pay any advertisement for it. All right. But it's a detailed process. It's a very, very detailed process. For any of you, this is not a process. I'm gonna be honest. This isn't a process that I could cover in one video or anything like that. It's really a learning thing, all right, and it's something I would have to teach you a lot about, all right. So in order to do that, honestly, it takes so much of my time. I do not do that for free. That I can only do through my music business coaching because I understand the time that it takes for you. It's not about showing you, it's actually about also teaching it to you as well. All right. And artists that I have taught to do this have been very, very successful, even more successful than me. Right. But it's literally a way that you could manage it, but you have to put in the time and you have to understand how to use YouTube and things like that. And I can teach all of that through my music business coaching sessions. All right. So if you are interested in that, if any of you are interested in that, my music business coaching session, I'll let you know right now. It's expensive. All right. It's $75 an hour because it's a lot of information and it takes a lot of time for me to teach you this. Right. But if you're part of the membership, if you get I think my highest tier membership, which is less than per hour, you actually get 45 minutes with me every month, right? So if that's something that you're interested in, you could definitely look into that. Or if you want to just, just contact me and schedule that, you can do that as well. I'll actually show you how to do that right now. All you actually have to do is you go to my website, but I guess the easiest way to go to my website from YouTube, you'll see in the link of my YouTube videos or my page. You could just go to, it's basically WesTheTechProductions.com. But under producer, you're going to see music business coaching. You go to music business coaching and you click business coaching right here. And down here is where you can actually schedule my music business. I have tons of artists who do this, who actually schedule my music business coaching sessions. And as you can see, it's $75 an hour. But it's much, much cheaper if you do it through the membership, all right? But again, you have to be a member in order to do the membership. So for any of you guys who want to join in a membership with me, again, the membership cost to start is only $3 or $4. With that, you'll be able to access a lot more things. You too as well, Groove. You'll be able to actually contact me a lot easier with priority comments and things like that. So if you want to be a part of the membership, you could definitely join into the membership. All right, there's different perks to the membership. All right, and yeah, to each his own. All of the different perks are right here for the memberships. All right, member shout outs. If you're a member, I'll actually shout you out. All right, member only live chats. All right, early access to new videos. You'll be able to connect with me on social media. All right, this is IG and all of those different things. All right, you'll get exclusive walkthrough videos. Some of the longest videos that I have I have never actually put on my YouTube channel because they're just too long. And most people who come to me, they want those quick tech tips, right? But if you want a long video, a long form video, all right, and you want to know exactly, like I have a video, for example, signing up for an LLC, and I take you step by step on how to do that. I don't have that on here as a regular tech tip because it's too long. It takes too long, right? So that is an exclusive video that you could access as a member. This kind of merchandise, but here it is right here, the last one. Free monthly music business coaching sessions. Where I'll be able to coach you, all right? So if you want to be a part of that, again, for anyone who's watching, there it is right there. All right, I'll answer one more question here, and, well, look, there we go. Okay, so this is the last question. Thank you for joining in on The Real DJ X214. Thank you for joining in. This is, where I answer questions live on Q&As. So here's the question. Should I get an LLC before releasing any music? Great question. Great question. Okay, so Here's the deal with LLCs, right? LLC is a limited liability company. LLC means that you will officially let the government know that you have a business and that you are actually incorporated, right? That you actually have an actual business. The good part about that is that you have a business. The bad part about that is that you have a business. And what I mean by that is the moment you sign up for an LLC and you get registered with your EIN number, all right, your employee identification number, the government will now consider you a legitimate business. Now, once you are a legitimate business, that means you have to be paying taxes on your business. All right. So whatever income you make, you have to be paying taxes on there. Now, let's say you start your LLC and you haven't released any music. You haven't made any money on there yet, right? You haven't made any money because you haven't released any music, right? Also, you may have expenses. You may pay for recording time and all of those different things, but you haven't made enough money yet, right? So what happens is every year you actually have to report your income. There is a cost to do that, all right? Every state is different, all right? And it is a couple of $100 to actually report your income. So if you don't make any money, if you haven't really made much, let's say you only made $50 in royalties, right? Let's say you make your LLC, you wait a whole, 9 months, you release a song, and you only made like $40 on the song, right? You made $40 on the song, and then next year comes up, you report it. You have to report to them that you made $40, then you have to pay a couple of hundred just submitting that report. That doesn't make any sense financially, right? Essentially, you want to make more than the report fee, right? Because if the report fee is $300, but you're not making $300 a year, then you're actually going to spend more money just having the LLC than actually protecting anything, if that makes any sense. I hope I'm making sense, right? So what you actually have to do is, my accountant told me this: are you running a business or do you have a hobby? The reason he asked me that question is because you have to be making a certain amount of money for you to actually start considering it a business, right? So I always tell people, unless you are actually starting to really make money as an artist, hold off on the LLC, because you're going to be spending so much just reporting it before you actually make anything. Now, if there's a lot of expenses that are going into it, all right? Let's say you're going on tour, you're doing shows, and you're doing all of this, and you're dishing out a lot of money, and you even though you're not making a lot, then yes, go ahead and create the LLC. But again, you're still gonna have to report that, and you're still gonna have to pay for that report fee, right? So to each his own on that. You want to kind of use your discernment when it comes to when will be the ideal time to actually create an LLC. Eventually, it has to be created, yes. And I do believe that it's smart to it, and like I said, you got to do it regardless, right? But you kind of want to be smart about when you do it, because you don't want to put yourself in a position that you're paying out all of this and you're not receiving a return, all right? The biggest part about being an independent artist is that balance, the balance between expenses and profit, all right? And really, that's any business, right? Honestly, that's any business, because as an independent artist, you're a business, right? You don't want your expenses to always be so much higher than your profit. Like my accountant said, that's not a business, that's a hobby, right? That's a hobby. That's like bowling, right? You spend for bowling and you don't make it, the only thing you get out of it is fun. That's a hobby, right? But if you're actually getting your profit and your profit is higher than your expenses, now you have a business, right? So that's where you really want to get to before you do that. But again, great question, all right? Great question. Thank you for asking that, because a lot of people ask that question all the time. I'm glad you asked that, all right? So we're coming to a close here, all right? I only promise you guys that I will be on here for an hour to answer as much questions as I can. I thank you guys for joining in. I thank you guys for asking those questions. Those were some great questions. I'm going to be doing this every Tuesday at noon, all right? So if you got more questions, you could always join in to get your questions answered every Tuesday at noon, all right? If you want to be a member, again, you could join the membership. I'll do shout outs to any of you guys who join the membership. You get additional perks when you're a part of the membership and all of that fancy good stuff, all right? And again, I thank you guys for joining in. Thank you guys on IG who joined in to see what was going on. I've basically been on a YouTube Live to do this here. All right, so I'll see you guys next Tuesday. And again, Thursday will be my traditional tech tips. So definitely check out my tech tips on Thursday. See you guys next week. Peace.